Have you ever opened the fridge and it smells terrible and you're thinking to yourself, first, what has been sitting in here for so long and why does it smell so bad? Well, the same applies to leadership. So let's unfold. So it smells a little bit. And I'm not talking about in your kitchen and I'm not talking about in your home. I'm talking about within your company, within your business. Something's off. And in leadership, it's so important that we use our sense of smell the same way we use it at our home. When you're at home and you walk in, let's say you have pets. I have cats. One of the things that I smell for is, does the litter box need to be changed? I try to make sure it's changed as frequently as possible. But yeah, there are times where there's a little bit of a smell. And that's an indicator to me that the cats are using the bathroom a little bit more and it's been sitting a little too long. So something has to change. So in the same way, as leaders, it's our job to make sure that we're always using our sense of smell. But you're probably thinking, Jerry, I can't tell my employees they need to take a bath or they need to put on a little bit more perfume or deodorant, right? And that's not what I mean at all. What I'm saying to you is your culture is ultimately going to be the indicator of what you smell. And sometimes that could just simply be the attitudes that are on display from your team. Are your team usually lighthearted and friendly? And now they seem quiet, reserved, a bit temperamental. That could be an indicator of something that's been sitting on them for a little while. Let me give you an example, okay? I was on a team and we had this one lady and she was always super friendly, always outgoing, always super bubbly. And recently, she just seemed a little bit off. She was very quiet. She was a little dry, okay? She was a little dry, better yet. And I noticed, I'm like, something is not right. But nobody else seemed to notice. Everybody was just kind of going business as usual, right? And I remember there would be times where we would go on trips together and she would share, yeah, I just kind of feel like I'm not being appreciated, or the team doesn't really understand how much I do for them, or I feel like I'm carrying all this weight and I've tried to communicate that I need assistance, but management is not providing me with the tools and resources necessary so I can perform at my highest level, okay? So, can you guess what happened? Yeah, she became more disgruntled. And at a certain point, she was almost about to quit. She ended up staying, but it took her having to take the initiative to talk to management and tell them seriously, I'm on the brink of leaving. And she was one of their top producers. So I want you guys to use this case study, and I want us to use this case study right now. I want you to think about, if you are a leader on a team, think of your team right now. What are some things that you've noticed? What are some things that you have smelled that suggest something has been sitting a little too long and it's becoming rotten? Is it someone who's a top performer but may not be performing as it pertains to the behaviors that are expected to maintain a cohesive team? Or what about new employees? What smell are you getting? Are these individuals that are taking initiative? Are they individuals who are go-getters, willing to learn something new? Or are they the type that are going to kind of sit on their hands and not do what's being asked of them? This is all what our sense of smell should be telling us and helping us with, okay? So when I talk about smell, I genuinely want you to think about it from that perspective. So let's take a more trivial tie-in. You go to the refrigerator, get food, right? And maybe you're the type of person who's like me. I like to meal prep. I will cook in bulk. And as the week goes on and I have a little bit left over, my instinct tells me, hey, maybe we should make sure this is still good, because it's been 7 days. I smell it and I'm like, okay, this is good. I gotta finish it today. I'm not eating it afterwards. Or maybe you're someone who gets takeout a lot, but still when that food sits in that refrigerator, you definitely are gonna make sure you check to see, is the food still good? So we gotta make sure to ask our team, hey, are you still good? Tell me what's going on. How have you been feeling? I know we've got a lot of things going on. We got this big project coming up. We got to hit these goals. How are you feeling? How are you doing? That is one of the things I loved most about some of my favorite leaders that I've worked with and been mentored by. They always made a point to check in with me. Even people who I wasn't working for or working with, they were just my mentors. They made a point to make sure there was a clear line of communication and they knew where I was at. You guys got to understand, as leaders, there's so much that you have to do, but your team, there's so much that they're having to do as well. They are taking ownership of their part of the mission that they have to accomplish. And in that is gonna come frustration. It's gonna come stress, all these things when it comes to accomplishing these missions, these goals. But we have to make a point, like we do with our food, to say, hey, let me open the refrigerator, let me open their door, let me walk over to their workspace, whatever it is, because check-ins weekly are important with a team. So much happens day to day and it's easy to miss what's been going on. The little nuances here and there, the office politics, the emotion, all of the things, the expectations that are changing because you're in a dynamic industry. Whatever it is, you gotta learn how to check in with your team on a consistent basis and ask, hey, how are you doing? Do you need my help with anything? How can I support you? It's very simple, guys, but the sense of smell is super empowering and it's super impactful, okay? So if you guys have any questions, please leave them in the comments down below. What did you think? Did you like this? Was this applicable? I know this is a huge thing in leadership, is trying to discern what is happening within and among the team in the midst of running the business. And it can be easily overlooked. And this is a lot of times how we end up losing people. And one of the things you'll notice on this channel is I love talking about employee engagement. I love talking about workplace statistics. And it's because it's costing us so much money globally and in the United States, period, because we're losing people, and we're losing people because we don't have a culture that really takes that priority on the employee. And it unfolded again. I want to help train and transform individuals like you who want to inspire, influence, and positively impact their teams. So please take this advice. Please take this to heart. And if anything, set up a weekly cadence with your team. And it doesn't have to be anything crazy. Even if that is 5 to 10 minutes with each person on your team, do it, because it's definitely gonna be worth the time. But I thank you guys for joining us. Please come back. If you like content like this, please like and subscribe. And until then, y'all stay unfolded. Peace.